Hello and welcome back to Explainer. Today, we're going to delve deeper into the world of international trade by discussing some of the most commonly used Incoterms. Incoterms, short for International Commercial Terms, are standardized trade terms established by the International Chamber of Commerce, ICC, to define the responsibilities and risks of buyers and sellers in international transactions. Let's explore these terms in more detail. 1. Xworks. In an Xworks transaction, the seller's responsibility ends as soon as they make the goods available at their premises. This means the buyer takes on all responsibilities from that point forward, including transportation, risk, and customs clearance. Imagine you're a small retailer in the United States buying handmade rugs from a workshop in Morocco with Xworks terms. The workshop in Morocco makes the rugs available at their door. You, as the buyer, are responsible for arranging the pickup, transportation, customs clearance, and covering all associated costs. 2. Free on board. FOB is often used in sea freight. Under FOB terms, the seller is responsible for delivering the goods to the named port of shipment and covering export clearance. Once the goods are on board the vessel, risk and costs transfer to the buyer. Suppose you're a furniture retailer in Europe importing wooden tables from Indonesia with FOB terms. The Indonesian supplier ensures the tables are loaded onto the ship at the port of Jakarta. After that, as the buyer, you are responsible for the transportation costs, import duties, and any risks during the sea voyage. 3. CIF, cost, insurance, and freight. CIF is commonly used when the seller wants to take on more responsibility. In a CIF transaction, the seller is responsible for delivering the goods, paying for the freight to the named port of destination, and purchasing insurance for the goods. Risk transfers to the buyer once the goods are on board the vessel. Let's say you run an electronics store in Australia, and you're importing smartphones from South Korea with CIF terms. The South Korean supplier not only covers the cost of shipping the smartphones but also provides insurance. However, once those smartphones are on the ship, the risks and responsibilities become yours. 4. DAP, delivered at place. DAP is a flexible term. In a DAP transaction, the seller is responsible for delivering the goods to a named place, which could be the buyer's premises, a specific warehouse, or any other agreed-upon location. The seller covers all costs up to that point, excluding import duties and taxes. Imagine you're a construction company in the Middle East, and you've ordered a shipment of heavy machinery from the United States with DAP terms. The U.S. supplier takes care of delivering the machinery to your construction site. You, as the buyer, are responsible for unloading, paying any import duties, and further transportation to your project location. 5. DDP, delivered duty paid. DDP is the term where the seller assumes the most responsibility. In a DDP transaction, the seller is responsible for delivering the goods to the buyer's premises, covering all costs, including import duties and taxes. The buyer only needs to worry about unloading. Picture this. You run a luxury boutique in the United Kingdom, and you're buying designer clothing from a fashion house in Italy with DDP terms. The Italian seller not only delivers the clothing to your store, but also takes care of all costs, including customs fees. You only need to receive and display the clothing. Lastly, we have FCA, free carrier. In an FCA transaction, the seller's responsibility ends when they deliver the goods to the carrier or another person named by the buyer at a specified location. From that point forward, the buyer assumes all responsibilities, including transportation, risk, and customs clearance. Consider a scenario where a tech company in the United States has ordered a shipment of high-end smartphones from a manufacturer in China with FCA terms. The Chinese manufacturer ensures that the smartphones are ready for pickup at their facility in Shenzhen. The responsibility then shifts to the U.S. buyer, who arranges and pays for the transportation of the smartphones from Shenzhen to their U.S. warehouse, handles import customs clearance, and bears any risks during transit. FCA offers flexibility while clearly delineating buyer and seller obligations. So there you have it, a comprehensive exploration of some of the most commonly used Incoterms in international trade, explained with real-world examples. The choice of Incoterms can significantly impact your responsibilities and costs in an international transaction, so it's crucial to choose the right one based on your specific needs and circumstances. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more in-depth content on international trade. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.